Agent Morgan, get us there quickly, but drive within the speed limit. Just because you have a badge doesn't mean you can drive like a maniac.
George, what are you, his mother?
We just need to get the autopsy results.
Agent York isn't accustomed to the town yet. Give him a little slack. Well then, Agent York, let's get going.
Sure, sounds good.
Si pudiera conducir usando los gatillos, pues podría controlar mejor la velocidad. Pero es que estos son botones. Ah, que se sale por el otro lado. ¿O no? Ah, por ahí puedo salir bien. Es que encima tengo tiempo. Ah, pero son las 10 de la mañana, hija mía. No vamos a llegar tarde.
Agent Morgan, I can't help noticing you prefer to work alone.
Most of the time, yes.
Don't you get lonely, flying all over the country alone?
I must say I've never felt lonely.
Are you married?
Unfortunately, relationships and I are fleeting strangers. I don't get on very well with women, you might be surprised to hear.
That's because you're young. You notice things like that at my age. You have to treat women carefully, like a thin crystal wine glass. If you don't, they can cut scars on your face, just like yours, right?
George, is this an interrogation? I see you're a seasoned professional. But let's not talk about my scar. It was caused by a problematic woman.
Well, she got you good. Terribly good.
It'll fade away, and nobody will notice it in a week.
A week? It's not that light of a wound.
Momento.
So, Emily.
Ah, ¿ya no siguen hablando? Jo. Y yo voy por el mal camino, tengo que dar toda la vuelta. Oye, me confundí a poner las luces. ¿Y cuál es el máximo de velocidad? Que ni eso me han dicho. Y en millas por hora no lo controlo yo. Igual yo voy a acelerar ya me... Ah, no puedo acelerar a más de 50. Aunque esto es ciudad y 50 millas por hora es más que 50 kilómetros por hora.
Well, we're in the middle of a homicide investigation. Keep your mind on the matter at hand.
He's right, Agent York. You still don't know your way around. Concentrate on driving us to the hospital.
No voy a esperar porque aquí hay un cromo.
If you're wandering off, then we'll go on ahead. We don't have time to mess around.
Okay, I'll meet up with you later.
Agent York, the hospital closes at 2100. Please make it inside before then.
Mierda. Lo llego a saber y no me bajo. Bueno, ya lo sé para la próxima. Gina la Rosa. Bueno, por lo menos ya puedo ir sin hacer ridículo.
Agent Morgan, have you no respect for rules and protocol? We were waiting for you, and now you try to go in by yourself.
Oh, George. I didn't see you in the parking lot, so I thought I'd wait inside.
Just watch it from now on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like inconsiderate people who think that they're above the rules. And I'm sure I've made this point clear by now.
Calm down, George. He probably just got lost on his way here and rushed in. Right, Agent York? Let's go inside then.
Estamos mal aquí con la gente. Estamos muy mal.
Hello, Sheriff.
Hi there, Fiona. We're here to see Usha. Do you know where he is?
I think Dr. Johnson is in the computer room.
A computer room? In a hospital?
Nice to meet you, Mr. FBI agent. The computer room is where our employees share a computer.
Very nice to meet you, too. I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. But how did you know I was FBI?
Easy. None of the police in this town wear cologne. Besides, that scar on your face is the biggest rumor in town.
Rumors get exaggerated as they spread, even in the countryside.
What's that you're reading, if I may ask?
You haven't heard of this yet? It's a recent bestseller mystery. It's set in the U.S., a small traditional North American town close to the Canadian border. A peaceful, traditional place. However, that peaceful town is shattered by a terrible crime. The murder of a local girl. And that incident causes grief and sadness to everyone in town. But everyone feels the seditious, heinous, evil still lurking, alive. Yes, much like the situation right now here in Greenvale.
Fiona, don't say that.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. With Anna dead and all.
Don't worry. Books are written to entertain, and it's good you're enjoying it. What we're faced with here is a terrible crime committed in a real world. Much different from that of a novel. So there's no need to apologize.
Thank you, Agent York.
Voy a guardar. Y lo voy a dejar por ahora. Bueno, pues vamos a seguir. ¿Puedo hablar contigo? Sí. ¿Por qué? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué? ¿Perdona? Pues nada. ¿Y tú a ver si nos dice algo más interesante? No. Pues vamos para allá entonces. ¿Qué? Me imagino que será aquí.
We couldn't find him.
Fiona needs to check her information.
No, I don't think so. Does the doctor like playing games by any chance?
What do you mean?
There's a message on the computer, and a card key already set in place. The king passes the rook and meets the bishop. The knight takes a pawn along for the queen.
What does that all mean?
It's a simple puzzle.
Zach, let's take him up on his challenge. You can do this, right?
Sencillo, tú sabes. El rey pasa la torre delante del alfil. Y el caballo come peón hacia la dama. O sea que el rey pasa para acá. Y el caballo... Pero no entiendo muy bien cómo va esto. A ver. No entiendo muy bien cómo funciona esto. Si el rey pasa la torre, queda para acá. Y el caballo se come esto y... No entiendo nada. A ver, entonces, a ver. El rey sería el primero, si queda aquí. El caballo, también. El peón no. Porque el peón se va. El caballo, no sé ni lo que estoy haciendo. Normal, picha, normal.
Zach, something is still missing. We need more clues.
A ver si las fichas me sé los nombres, pero... Pues resuélvelo entonces. A ver, ¿tiene algo que ver con los dibujos? Pero va, tiene pinta de ser simplemente por si no te sabes los nombres. Bueno, dejadme que me lo piense un poco. Y ahora veo, porque tampoco puedo salir de aquí. Ah, ¿sí puedo? Pero no creo que haya que salir. A ver si se me ocurre algo. No sé ni lo que he hecho, los he puesto en orden y ya está,
The
¿no?
doctor awaits below with the deceased.
Another code?
¿Cómo?
But there's nowhere to insert a password.
More games. I'm going to get Fiona to call Usha up here right now.
No need, George. The message appeared with the card key. It's telling us where to use it.
This is not the time to be joking around, Agent Morgan.
Dr. Usha is below with the deceased. With Anna. Below being underground, I take it. Simple. Simple.
Aquí está todo el mundo zumbado.
Then it's time to meet the mischievous architect of this little game.
Nah.
Tarjeta de sótano con un corazoncito. Vámonos por abajo. ¿Tendré que salir a la entrada o seguir por aquí? Vale, es lo mismo. Baño, más baño. Por aquí quizás. Me podrían poner alguna indicación de qué puertas se pueden y qué puertas no se pueden abrir. Tú no eres relevante para la investigación, ¿no? Sí. Ah, vale, aquí está la escalera. Joder, qué lioso es el hospital este. Espero que no haya quedado mucha puerta por aquí más. Oye, ¿por qué no me acompañan los otros dos? ¿Se han quedado arriba? ¡Ey! Medallita. Nah, guardo más adelante y ya está.
Usha, sorry to keep you waiting.
Ah, you made it. Let's get started, shall we?
Me recuerda a alguien esa cara, pero no sé a quién.
This is Agent Morgan from the FBI.
Nice to meet you. I'm Usha Johnson, the doctor in this hospital.
Solo hay uno,
FBI
¿no?
Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please call me York. Everyone calls me that.
Very well, Agent York.
Are you a forensic practitioner?
Let's just say I've dealt with corpses before.
That battle of wits, by the way. Did you create that yourself?
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to see if our FBI agent could handle the task.
I see. Well, it was pretty fun.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it.
We don't have much time. We need those autopsy results.
Ya se ha cabreado.
Next time, try challenging us without obstructing an investigation. You've angered the monarch.
From the onset of rigor mortis, the stiffening of the muscles, the time of death is estimated to be between 20 and 2200 hours. That's still quite early for such a crime to take place. Note that there are 2 exterior wounds, pressure marks around the neck, and a long cut running from chest to abdomen. Blood marks on her right hand tell us she was gripping something round in her right hand. Her skull is also fractured, but that is unrelated to the cause of death. It probably happened to her after she was killed. Now, I first thought death by suffocation, due to the marks on her neck. But after further investigation, I now have a different conclusion. The direct cause of death was loss of blood from the wound.
Que se le raja la barriga y después la estrangula.
Which means...
She was cut up while she was still alive.
Yes, a sharp knife was used. It was inserted beneath the sternum and then quickly sliced downwards. The excessive loss of blood from her internal organs is what actually killed her. Her nails are clean, and with no skin cells from the attacker. She also doesn't appear to have been bound nor badly beaten. She was apparently killed without resistance. The most tragic thing, however, was that she was unable to speak her story to anyone who could hear her cries.
Y eso es por...
The perpetrator cut out Anna's tongue.
Well, I believe she was drugged first to phase her consciousness, and then the killer killed her.
Una música muy apropiada para la
The
situación.
killer most likely has a deep, traumatized past concerning women. He probably cannot converse with them
Los
normally.
perfiles son nuestros.
Cutting out the tongue suggests a very lonely
Eso es intrusismo
individual.
profesional.
Either that, or a truly hardcore sadist.
George, di algo.
He must get off on watching women suffer, especially when they can't answer back. Now, he watched as the blood pumped from her body, as she gradually grew cold. Now, a case in Seattle in 1985 was much like...
Usha, please, limit your report to your findings as a doctor. Criminal profiling
Ay,
is
ay,
my
ay,
job.
buena, buena. Se estaba pasando de listo ya.
You're wrong, also. Anna died fully, deeply, painfully aware of what was happening to her.
But,
Tell me, what time did it stop raining on the night Anna was killed?
Just before I went to bed, right after the movie on TV ended, so around 1 a.m.
What movie was it?
An American Werewolf in London.
Directed by John Landis, 1981.
Ya, por tirarse el pegote. y
So
eso.
the rain stopped, accompanied by the ending song, Blue Moon. George, would you mind if I examined Anna myself?
What more do you hope to find?
I'm sure I mentioned that I have a personal interest in cases like these.
¿Cómo? Ah, vale. ¿Por qué? Bravo. Unas 6 horas. ¿Y qué más miro entonces?
From her lack of resistance, I'd say that Anna's injuries happened very quickly. Unable to speak, she was then left to cry herself to death.
Zach, it's all starting to come together.
The perpetrator stayed with her for at least 2 hours until it stopped raining. At the estimated time of her death, it was still raining, but you can still see tear marks on her cheeks. That means she was killed under a roof somewhere. She was then carried into the woods after it stopped raining.
There's one other thing. Her tongue was removed with a very blunt knife. In fact, it's more likely it was simply chopped off.
Asha, are you a passionate man?
Well, not particularly, but I am man enough should the moment call for it.
George, how about you?
I'm very passionate. Yes. Especially
So
when it comes to women.
desincronizado el
But I
sonido.
don't see what that has to do with anything.
George, the perpetrator is just like you. He's passionate about women. He's a passionate kisser. This was a kiss of death.
¿Engallado un bocado?
The perpetrator bit off Anna's tongue.
Dios.
We'll never get a dental print from a wound like this. But this is still a big lead.
Jackpot, Zach. A shame, but our old-time all-American sightseeing tour just came to an end.
This case is now under the jurisdiction of the FBI. I'm assuming command. I'll need you to assist me in the investigation.
What in the hell do you mean, Agent Morgan? I know I said I was passionate, but you can't think I did this.
That's not why I'm assuming command, George. You're a suspect just as much as every other passionate man on Earth. Let me show you something.
¿Que la lleva encima todas?
There you go. Amazing, huh? I'm sure you have a lot of questions, but most of the details are top secret. George, Emily, we should be going. No need to stay here any longer.
Okay. I have to sign the release. Just give me a moment.
Very well. I'll go on ahead. I can't take it any longer down here. Bishop takes queen. His rook takes your queen. Then your knight takes rook. And checkmate.
Huh?
¿Qué personaje eres, Francisco?
My first victory in the Grandmaster ranking.